Good morning and welcome to the Gribley's Folly Community Garden Massage Parlor and Walk-In Freezer. I regret to inform you that winter has returned. It's very, very cold, very, very windy, but the show must go on, and we're here for the Sunday Antisocial Hour where I rant about things that have happened in my week, how much I detest people, and I give you spiritual guidance. Plus, I'm going to answer a lot of your hashtag Ask Gribs questions. Excuse me, my voice is a little rough. And your hashtag Ask Gribs to Ask the Witch questions. Those are all going to be answered with 100% sincerity and honesty. In my Missouri Meerschaum, not so stubby, I'm smoking Old Ironsides. However, I recorded a bunch of this previously, and I was smoking a different pipe and probably wearing different clothes. And then I went back and watched it, and I was like, I'm not so happy with that. So I'm going to re-record part of this video. So if there's incongruencies, if any of you eagle-eyed, gribbly watchers out there notice things don't line up, that is why. Has nothing to do with UFOs, aliens, government conspiracies, nothing like that. It was just that I was talking about things of a sensitive nature that I thought better of posting for the entire internet to hear. And not even sex with a man, because I'm going to talk about that later. My grandmother died this week, and last weekend, actually. And so this week was the funeral. Now, I know you're all going to send your condolences, and I very much appreciate them. To me, this is not a time of mourning, right? My grandmother was 99. She was 99 years old. She had a 71-year marriage. She had 4 children. She lived in a big house. She had a really, really full and happy life as far as I could tell. I mean, who knows what's going on inside someone's head, but she was known by everyone who knew her as a ray of sunshine. So I think that she had a full and happy life. And yes, we can be sad. We should be sad that we have lost her, but more than that, we should be grateful that we had her so long. And so I get really upset. By the pomp and circumstance of the funeral thing. Now, in this instance, there isn't really anyone to blame, because I'm sure that my grandfather, who was a very successful, very wealthy, very type A businessman, I'm sure that like back in the 80s, he went to the funeral home and was like, yeah, death is inevitable, so here's a check, make it happen when we die. And they were just doing their job. But this isn't the 80s anymore. They both lived to be, very, very advanced in age. And I felt that there was more stuff going on than was really helpful to the family. For example, see here, I'm veering off again. I'm veering into these, I shouldn't, fine. You want to hear it? You'll hear it. Fine. Okay. Here we go. Gribs rules for funerals. Don't have them. Don't do all that stuff. Don't do all that stuff, right? You're dead. Funerals are for the living. Because no matter what your faith tradition, and my grandmother had a very intact faith tradition. I, of course, am a level 50 shaman, and most people say I got it from my grandmother. So, she's cool. She's set. She doesn't care about all the little things that we're really, really getting stressed out about anymore. Wherever she is, she's not concerned. My kid spilled juice on my tie. She's not concerned that so-and-so is going to be late. She's not concerned. That doesn't bother her at all, right? So, so all that little stuff, Gribs rules for funerals. No, that stuff doesn't matter. The composition of the casket does not matter. That is not something for the family to fight about. None of my family watches this channel, but if I'm ever outed and my anonymous identity is revealed to the world and my family watches this channel, I'm talking to you. She doesn't care about the composition of the casket. She doesn't care about the obituary. She doesn't care about the flowers. She doesn't care about the hymns. Stop fucking fighting. Easy for me to say, right? Because I'm the grandchild and not the child, right? I am sad, but I haven't lost a parent here. And I know what it's like to lose a parent, and it's terrible. And, I get that. I get that. But do we really need black limousines to go from the family house to the burial, to the family house, to the church, and back to the family house? Do we really need a line of black limousines to do that? I don't think so. We all have cars. We're all capable of driving. She didn't like black. I never saw her wear black. I never saw her. What is the point of the black limousines? Except my kid has a book full of different cars, you know, and he loves to go through, and we have actually seen all of the cars in real life, except for the stretch limousine. So check that right off. The first piece of drama was that the burial, which was going to take place before the service, it's like you go out and you bury them in the morning. You go out to the boneyard, right? And everybody gets together early in the morning, and then you go have a big Baptist Sunday dinner, which was awesome, by the way. You go, the little old ladies of the church take care of you, and that was touching. That was cool. That these little old ladies feel, now granted, my grandmother was like a matriarch of this church. But I think they do this for everyone. Everyone who kicks the bucket in their family is, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, big Baptist, buffet style Sunday dinner. And then you go back to the family house, and then you come back for the memorial service, and then there's a reception after the memorial service. Plus, all of this was on top of the visitation the night before that I didn't even go to. Because let me tell you, receiving lines, that's barbaric. That is barbaric to put grieving people through that. No. Not at my funeral. Not at my funeral. Unfortunately, the burial was canceled due to wind. And so, of course, I'm like, well, wait. What is it? Was the casket made of styrofoam or something? And then everyone looks at me and I'm like, oh, right, we're all supposed to be sad. No gallows humor here. No gallows humor here, Gribbs. Just dial that back a little bit. Yeah, canceled due to wind because at that moment, the state was enveloped in what we now call a bomb cyclone, or what my grandmother liked to call March. I don't know why, but the funeral home could not put a body in the dirt while there was so much wind. So we had to have the burial at the church. So the limousines, we go through town to the church, and then I guess we skipped a limousine trip to the boneyard, and then why are there limousines? What is this? Are we going to the prom? But I can put up with all of this as long as people don't fight. As long as the family comes together as a unit to grieve their loss, right? That's the whole point of this entire thing. And so I made my previous video not knowing. Well, I knew that one of my uncles had not come to the funeral because he was upset. I didn't really know the details, and we now know. See, I wasn't going to talk about anything. We're not supposed to talk about this, right? This is family stuff. I'm airing it on the internet. I don't care. When my family acts like morons, I'm going to call them morons. So he has disowned the entire family. He has disowned the entire family. Doesn't offend me. He actually didn't disown me. I just for the record, we're still friends on Facebook. But everybody else disowned because of something in the obituary that he was. It's complex. But what do you really think? Do you really think this is what my grandmother wanted? Right? Like a bunch of black limousines and her children disowning each other at her funeral. And so I thought I would just make my wishes known to the YTPC, how you should remember me when I kick the bucket. Let's go ahead and get these, because I'm going to be like my grandfather here. Don't quite have the financial success really to pull this off, but I'm sure by the time I die, there will be so much money. This won't be a problem, because here's what's going to happen, right? This is my solemn will and testament to the YTPC. Everybody get together at Amy Mack's house. She's totally cool with it. I haven't checked with her, but I know she's going to be fine with it. Everybody get together at Amy Mack's house, right? And we will supply corncob pipes for everyone, but I want you guys to bring your own tobacco, right? And just like Baptist church dinner it up, except instead of food, tobacco, like tobacco souffle, tobacco like jello, pudding, casserole. What is that stuff fruit salad, tobacco fruit salad, like in the Jell-O, you know? I want that. I want like turkey stuffed with tobacco, and I want everyone to just go through with their, I want Missouri Meerschaum free hands. Amy, make sure you just write Scott a check now, and I'll get you back when I die. And I want you guys to just, boom, full pipes, light them up. I don't want anyone wearing a tie, unless Amy wants to wear a tie. That's okay, it's her house. But nobody else wear a tie, no black limousines. If your car is black, rent a car to come to my funeral at Amy Mac's house. That's how this should go down. No flowers. Do you see any flowers in the community garden and massage parlor? Now, my grandmother had a lot of flowers, so it's okay. She can have flowers at her funeral. But me, no. I don't want flowers. I want bones. Right? I got bones over there, and I want the place to smell like WD-40. Amy, the funeral home will clean the house. Don't worry. And so I wanted you to go in there and just like WD-40, and then instead, since we've already had the Baptist church dinner full of tobacco, I know everybody's going to be hungry and like nicotine sick and stuff like that. No Elizabethan mixture at my funeral, y'all. None. I don't care if it's your favorite. It's my fucking funeral. None. And then I want, we're going to hire a caterer here and steaming hot brown sugar Pop-Tarts made. Does Post or Kellogg's make brown sugar Pop-Tarts? I should know because, of course, I own 51% of the stock. So anyway, I think it's Post makes Pop-Tarts. Whatever, whoever the company is, we're going to have them direct from the factory, right, into a heated delivery truck, drive to Amy Mac's house. So these are going to be the freshest brown sugar Pop-Tarts you've ever had in your life. Okay, but while I am still alive, while I still have breath in my lungs to talk to you guys, let's get to your burning questions from the week. Grib answers. Hashtag Grib ask shit. What's the hashtag? Ask Grib. Right? No, yeah. Hashtag Ask Gribs, and this is Grib's answers with authority. Sound Dude says, great story. A little disappointed it wasn't a chupacabra eating the skulls. That's not a question, Sound Dude. Why did I tag that to answer? Whatever. Okay, so this was on the Skull Eaters video, and y'all, I have not been out in the woods since because I've been driving to this damn funeral, and I don't have any updates on the Skull Eater story, but I'm gonna go out today in the wind and see if the care package has been received. Yes, Sound Dude, I also wanted to believe it was chupacabra. I have been reading a really interesting book. And if you guys, I'm gonna need some soliciting. I need some prompting before I talk about chupacabra and Bigfoot and all that sort of thing. But I've been reading an interesting book about that stuff. So let's move on quickly here. Billy Smock, who just started his YTPC career, go check out his channel. Billy Smock asks Gribs, what tobacco is next on your want to try list? This is a difficult question. I have a couple of McClellan blends in my cellar that I've been wanting to open up, and they were going to be next. But now that McClellan is gone, I don't know what to do about that, because now I'm all like, oh, should I save them for a special occasion? What if I don't even like them? I've never tried them before. What to try next? I really want to get into rope tobaccos. Oh no, old Greg sent me some Jackknife Plug, and I haven't. I should have taken it to the funeral. Jackknife Plug is super high in nicotine, and I am a highly sensitive person, y'all. When you're a level 50 shaman like me, your baseline, brain waves are delicate and fragile, and you don't need the big nick hit. It makes me puke just like everyone else that is sensitive to nicotine. So I have not wanted to try Jackknife Plug, which I have a tin of, because I haven't had a big enough meal. I need a really big meal before I try this stuff. I'm expecting it to be fabulous. But I want to try Jackknife Plug next. I want to try some ropes, and some stouter tobaccos. I'm currently, as I think I mentioned, I'm smoking, proper English. And yeah, it's proper. We've talked about that before. It's just it's good. It's good. Just fine. Does that answer the question? Did I answer? Cause there is no question that I'm not gonna not fully answer on Ask Gribs. I always give you, the straight up, balls to the wall, no flinching answer. Pipe Smoking Board Gamer says, what famous man could make you question your sexuality? Huh. Now, see, I could make a joke of this and try to make Pipe Smoking Board Gamer feel awkward by saying, Pipe Smoking Board Gamer. Or Derek Tant. I did consider saying that. Or just someone, you know, like Danny DeVito. He's famous, right? Just someone, you know, throw it out, make it kind of funny, right? But it's a serious question. It's a serious question. And here's the thing that I would like to promote is men being able to talk about alternate sexualities, whether homosexuality or what, I don't know what all the words mean, but you know, I'm not put off by the question. I'm very, very, very straight. And so it makes the question hard to answer. And oddly, someone who was annoyed at how straight I am, was talking to me recently and trying to pin me down on this. And I just can't, in seriously trying to answer the question, the men that I think are good looking, that I respect and admire, I wouldn't want to have sex with because then that would make them, like, it would mess with my admiration of them. Does that make sense? Like, wow, that's an issue, isn't that? That's not right. You're not supposed to say things like that. Because then that makes it seem like you don't admire the people you are having sex with. No, that's, okay, so what is it? Like, okay, Harrison Ford. I mean, look at the hat, y'all. Look at the hat. There's a question about the hat coming up. This is my hat. Yeah, I think I got a man crush on Harrison Ford, just a little bit. Do I want to have sex with Harrison Ford? No, that would ruin the man crush. Because the whole point is the masculinity is something that you want. It's not something you desire. It's something that you want to emulate with a celebrity man crush, right? So, no, I don't want to have sex with Harrison Ford. So then that puts me in the position of trying to find someone who I find attractive, but don't admire. Like, it's a paralyzing straightness that prevents me from really having a ready answer to this question. Ryan Seacrest? I don't know. You don't even know who that is. It's just a name in the news because he's sexually harassing a bunch of people right now. I think, okay. I will generalize the answer, but not much. How about this? If I were going to have sex with a man, I would want it to be one of two things. Over quickly, right? And obviously we're assuming this isn't some magic world where it doesn't interfere with my marriage vows and stuff like that, right? I would want it to either be a very minor experience, like, oh, you know, for whatever reason, we have to do this thing and we're just going to do it and it's going to be, you know, it's going to be weird and awkward and we're just going to make the best of it and move on with our lives. I would either want that, or I would want the full deal, right? Like I would want like porn model. I don't know any male porn models. Or any female, I don't watch. I mean, I don't. What's a porn model? You know, but you know, like I would want it to be the full experience, so that at least you don't walk away wondering. Because that's just, I mean, that's the only two ways I see it. Is like, yeah, let's just minimize this, or let's go all out. Let's do it. You know, or I guess the third option would be to pick a celebrity for bragging rights, like a '80s era Stallone. That way, no matter what else happened in the rest of your life, you'd be able to say, I fuck Rambo. ESB is full of interesting questions. He actually gave me 6 questions this week. Number 2, what are your 5 favorite movies? Rambo, Rambo 2, Number 1, Raiders of the Lost Ark. Number 2, I don't know if these are in order. Silence of the Lambs. I think the Lord of the Rings movies are going to have to be in there. The Blair Witch Project. Shyamalan's The Village would be a contender. Bridge Over the River Kwai is pretty damn good, though. Yeah. Okay. Got to move on. We can talk more about that if you're still interested. Pipe Smoking Board Gamer. When was the last time you picked your nose? Pretty sure it was when I paused the video last. Or shat your pants. I think that has been. I think I was 3. Still 3 years old. Maybe 4. One of those times. At what age did you start going bald? Well, thank you for asking. 18. What is your number 1 folly? My number 1 folly And, you know, I think folly in the sense that most people use it is like a thing that you really tried that failed, like something like a, you know, if you like build a giant structure or kingdom or what, I don't know, what I think of it is like this big endeavor that just completely falls flat on its face. That's a folly. But I think also a folly can be something that you continually do over, like my number one folly is hesitation, is paralysis by analysis, waiting too long to do the things that I want to do. And I'm working really hard to fix that. But when I look back on my life, I realized that, you know, I met somebody the other day. She was a graphic designer for a global company. And I knew her when she was just a graphic designer for a local company, big company locally, but that's how I met her. You know, still just a local small timer, as I like to think of them. I like to think of myself and all the other people that work in this town. And now she's working for this global company, and she's 25. She's 25. You know what I was doing when I was 25? Working at a damn music store. So my main folly is not pursuing things aggressively enough and being complacent with my situation in life. So, yeah, I think that's it. Lastly, Pipe Smoking Board Gamer asks, do you know what film Things Are Afoot at the Circle K is from without Googling it? It's pretty bogus of you that you would even have to ask that question. Pipes Etc. asks, of the bothy, what is the purpose of it? A hunting blind? Not exactly. Definitely not a hunting blind. A photography blind sometimes, yes. That was definitely the ostensible purpose. Hang on. People are texting. Oh, the witch. The witch is texting to try to give me an answer to this week's witch question. Ostensible purpose was photography blind, that I would sit in this thing and take pictures of birds and stuff. But honestly, the purpose is a place for me to hang out and be by myself. And it was fun to build. It was fun. It was fun to act like a kid again in the woods. David 35445 asks about the witch. How do you know she's a witch? David, she looks like one. Timber Drifter, I don't think this is a question, but yeah, just talking about. Hang on, I got to read this. Sorry, I wanted to carefully read this before I responded. Timber Drifter was responding to all the gun stuff that I talked about, and how I see the era in which we're living. Timber Drifter says, gun control is quite a small slice of the shit pie we are being served up fresh daily. That's very true. I don't see us developing a coherent solution to most of the problems we face. That's also very true. And he was saying all the stuff we talk about here is like telling people don't be stupid. That the people who need to hear it the most are the ones who think that you're talking about someone else. So let's not be those people, right? Let's all assume that we're talking about us. What can we do as individuals to turn this around? Eric's Random World says that he does not want to. He's glad the witch has a sense of humor. I would hate to wake up one morning to find that I have boils, a third testicle, or some other such curse. Now, on the topic of the third testicle, that would also be a novelty in answering pipe smoking board gamers' question. So if anyone knows anybody, let me know who they are. Not because I actually want to reach out and have sex with them, but just so I can give Pipe Smoking Board Gamer a specific answer. Eric's Random World asks, is hops number 9 acceptable as cologne or no? No, it is not. As perfume? Oh yeah. The pipe vlogger says, cool hat. Thank you. Is that an Akubra? No. It is a Scala, S-C-A-L-A. I got it at Steinmart. I'm finally going to admit, everybody's always asked about this hat. I got it at Steinmart, y'all. And I think it was like actually, you know, like signed by Harrison Ford or something like that. How long does a cob last? Also from Pipe Vlogger. I have one that's lasted 3 years, with pretty heavy smoking and being dropped in the river and left outside and, run over with a lawnmower, I think. They last a long, long time. Longer than you will probably want to smoke them. Derek Tant says, are there any tobaccos you're looking forward to trying for the first time in the near future? Also, have you tried nasal snuff? Any thoughts on nasal snuff? Well, I think I already answered the question about tobaccos I want to try in the near future, ropes and stuff like that. Honestly, though, I really just need to be stocking my cellar because with the McClellan thing, I'm thinking that, and this is probably a topic for another video, but I'm thinking that the golden age of pipe tobacco may be coming to an end. We've been living in it for some time now, and all things must come to an end, so I'm a little worried about that. I have no desire to try nasal snuff. In fact, between having sex with a man and putting something up my nose, that's a tough call. One time I got a sinus infection in my sphenoid sinus, which is like, it's like here somewhere. It's like they're back up in here and they get to it through your nose. And shut up. And I'm just getting all these emails from like my grieving family and stuff. Like, God, bother me later. So what they do here to get to your sphenoid sinus, because they can't just give you the meds, right? That wouldn't be acceptable. They got to like make sure it's the sphenoid science. She blinded me. Science. Why can't I? Okay, more coffee. I've been talking too much and not drinking more. Anyway, they spray some sort of numbing agent up your nose so it doesn't hurt, but you can still feel the pressure. When they lube up a light and a camera with KY jelly, see what I'm saying about the sex with a man thing? And stick it up your nose into your sinus cavity and wiggle it around in there. Worst feeling ever. I've never had a colonoscopy, so maybe that's worse, but it was terrible. And then they're like, yep, you're infected. Here's some antibiotics. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Finally, old Greg S. Brown sugar Pop-Tart flavored aromatic tobacco? Hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah. Last but not least, in fact, probably the most important thing in this whole video is that someone asked me to ask the witch the following question: I want to make my own time stones. Should I use wood or clay? Unfortunately, YouTube sucks. So even the witch can't figure out which of my subscribers actually left this comment. I tried a dowsing rod. I meditated on the astral plane for 4,000 years, trying to determine which of you left this comment. I'm so sorry, but YouTube has lost it. So I just sent her the question. All right, time stones, right. Okay, so she says, a time stone is a gemstone in Sonic the Hedgehog that has the ability to manipulate time. So if that's what they want, they have bigger problems than which material to use. On the other hand, if they meant to say rune stones, either material will work, but clay tends to break after so many throws. I have no idea what you guys are talking about. I am just here as the ethereal conduit to bring the witchy knowledge to my subscribers. There you go. Next week, don't forget, load me down with your questions. Ask Gribbs anything you want to ask. Anything. Obviously, I will give you a serious answer to almost any question ever. And don't forget, you can ask Gribbs to ask the witch, and we'll find out how to make things that don't even exist. Thank you for watching. I'm supposed to end with spiritual wisdom, but we'll save that for next week because I'm tired of talking to you, and I know you're tired of listening. Keep the ends out for the ties that bind.